check, 1, 2. A little bit quiet, isn't it? Check, check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just a few moments away from the commencement of our All Other Breed show, our AOB show, in Hall B show ring number 1, the first breed show of Farm for International 2022.
If I'm honest, I don't know what I'm doing. just wandering the ruins, looking for a place to start. If I'm honest, I don't know who I am. All I see is a man who's waiting for a wake-up call. So won't you touch
This is where you live.
Does it have a song to sing and sing it to me? Sing it to me. Open up my mind, I cannot find a melody and sing it to me. Sing it to me. I keep singing. Wish I was better at everything I have ever tried and failed to be. I wear every letdown, I show every scar, and I found that hope can only carry you so far. So won't you touch this heart that doesn't have a song to sing and sing it to me, and sing it to me. Open up my mind, I cannot find a melody and sing it to me, sing it to me. I keep singing. I'm all out of strength, I'm all out of luck, and what's in my hands never is enough. Will you remind me of the song I've forgotten? So won't you touch this heart that doesn't have a song to sing and sing it to me, sing it to me. Open up my mind, I cannot find a melody and sing it to me. Yeah, sing it to me. No, keep singing. 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 So you wanna live in a world with no more dying? You're counting up the cards, what are you trying to gain? I was on the outside avenue, I was looking at you, dear, waiting as the minutes turn to hours, turn to days. It's a shame, ain't it a shame?
ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting on the last few head to arrive, and we'll be moving into ring number 1. Show ring number 1, the Martin Deer line. Show ring number 1 with our AOB show. Once we know we've got all those 4 yearling heifers at ringside, we'll be rolling into the ring with them.
Far away in the burning hills of Zion, betting on an afterlife to try on today. Fear guides the hand of a broken down young man, and we all need a piece of land to die on, they say, but it's a shame. Ain't it a shame now? It's a shame. Ain't it a shame? So you wanna live in a world with no more dying? Maybe I've been trying, only trying just to say. Did you know that you were playing with the sharp edge of a knife? And we can't waste ourselves in waiting for eternal life.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to roll into the ring with our first class of Farm for International 2020, our All Other Breeds show here in Martin Deer Line, show ring number 1. Coming into the ring will be our first class. This will be the yearling heifer class, where we're expecting 5 yearling heifers to be making their way into the ring. 4 yearling heifers to be making their way into the ring on class number 1 in your show program. Mark Lysing from Armina, Alberta, and one of our outstanding staff members of the Alberta Beef Producers, is our judge for the AOB show. And he's going to be assisted by an individual who has been part of Farm for International for almost as long as Farm for International's been around. That's Reed Rigney, who knows this AOB show as well, inside and out, as well as other breed shows that he's been part of. We're happy to have Mark Lysing and Reed Rigney working our ring as judge and ringman of the AOB show. Working out back, we're very fortunate to have Sawyer Vaughn and Janet Kamelchuk getting the animals lined up and ready for us. So our first class is our yearling heifer class, and 4 entries coming into it. As our official judge, we're very proud to have Mark Lysing, the lead on government relations and policy with Alberta Beef Producers as well. Mark was raised on a 5th-generation cattle operation near Armina, Alberta, where he continues to raise cattle with his brother. He previously worked with the Government of Alberta as a public land specialist and has a strong understanding of how government and stakeholder groups work together. He has a master's degree from the University of Alberta in Range and Wildlife Management and is a graduate of the CCA Mentorship Program, the Cattlemen's Young Leaders. Mark is an outstanding young cattleman, again from the Armina area, who works across Alberta as one of the staff of the Alberta Beef Producers, and we're very happy to have him very close to his home stomping grounds of Armina as our judge for the AOB show. Judge Lysing, your class is complete.
Johnny told the pretty girl that Len, I love you so. She looked back at Johnny and said, Johnny boy, I know. And we all shine a light, little darling. We all want someone. We're all afraid of tomorrow just a little. We all dance circles around the sun till it's done. And you're the one. Johnny went out one day with a shotgun by his side. His family, they didn't trust him to keep them all alive. He stumbled upon a black bear and knocked down his gun. Johnny couldn't reach it, so he fixed up to run. The bear caught up to Johnny, knocked him to the ground. Johnny thought of his little girl and he beat that bear down. Well, the moral of the story, if there's a woman by his side, there's nothing that a man will do just to stay alive, stay alive. And we all shine a light, little darling. We all want someone. We're all afraid of tomorrow, just a little. We all dance circles around the sun. And we all shine a light, little darling. We all want someone. We're all afraid of tomorrow, just a little. And we all dance circles around the sun till it's done. And you're the one.
Over the course of our 4 days of Farm for International, we will be acknowledging our sponsors over the course of the days and the shows. And those include Agro Eco Power. Agro Eco Power's tuning technology adds power and reduces fuel consumption on anything with a diesel engine, including tractors, combines, and semis. We're very proud to have Agro Eco Power as one of our sponsors for Farm for International 2022. And we're ready now with comments from our judge, folks. Mark Lysing is our official judge for our AOB show to talk his class. Here is Judge Lysing.
Well, first off, thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to be doing AOB. I started this class with what I thought was the most complete heifer. So she balances well front to back. Her structure is difficult to fault. She has lots of extension through her front third and balance through her flank. When we come down to the heifer in second, a heifer maybe that gives up a little more on that extension through her front third, and maybe her angle to the hooks and to pins isn't as desirable, but something that matches the heifer ahead very well. She's maybe got a little more power to her and jam, but she just gives up that little bit in structure. The heifer I have in third is kind of my problem heifer just because she's so different from the rest of the class. I love the belly in this heifer, and I love the extension and how she comes out of her shoulder in that front end. But she just doesn't have the performance to compete with the heifers above her. She's just, they overpower her. The hindquarter set, I would like to see a little bit straighter hocks to the ground when it hits the ground, but that being said, I have to give granted that she wasn't showing herself the best today. So this young woman might have better luck in the future. The heifer we have in fourth, I felt she just didn't match the class as well with her hindquarter structure and maybe the strength of her top. But a heifer that has probably the most length and dimension in the class. So definitely bred to the right bull will be a major contributor to this young lady's program.
And many thanks, Judge Lysing. First place in our junior champion AOB female is Little Creek Paforla 40J, Paforla 4J. Entry number 4 for Avery Camelchuck of Clover Hills Cattle Company at Collinton, Alberta. Little Creek Paforia 40J, entry 4 is our junior champion, the recipient of the $700 division prize money, and will be coming back in for our grand champion female class. And she will be joined by Little Creek Jazzy 4J from Delaney Camelchuck and Clover Hills Cattle Company, the Camelchuck family of Collinton. Entry number 3, second in class, our reserve junior champion and recipient of $300 division prize money. In third place honors, RWL Teague 28J from Robertson West Livestock, entry number 2. And in fourth place, entry number 1, Little Creek Julep 5J. If you're marking a show program moving down class number 1, the yearling heifers born in 2021, entry number 1 places 4th, entry number 3 places 2nd, entry 4 is 1st, and entry 2 is 3rd. And of course, entries 1 and 3 as junior and reserve junior champion will be returning to Judge Lysing's grand champion female class. There's only one mature cow, one cow period, one cow-calf pair in our AOB show. It is a mature cow. She's coming in now for class number 4. And this is entry number 5. Judge Lysing, your class is complete. This pair, in addition to being a class winner, will be the senior champion and the recipient of the $700 division prize money. We'll be declaring entry number 5, our senior champion female. This is Swiss Tradition Jazz 7C with Swiss Tradition Bra, bull calf at side, from Ian and Verena Peden of Swiss Tradition Braunby. This is our first place in the mature cow class, a 7-year-old cow. She'll also be our senior champion female and will be coming back in for our grand champion female class as well. Mark will make some comments on his single entry class and his senior champion female. Folks, here's Judge Lysing.
So these are my favorite classes to judge. It's this cow. You got to appreciate the levelness of her udder, her big square foot, and how much bone she has on her. Her depth of her forerib and the sweep to that rib is all impressive. And it did definitely translate it down to this calf. You can see that bone and that rib shape in him. And so you give a lot of that credit to this cow. Very nice pair.
And thank you, Judge Mark Lysing of Armena, Alberta. Swiss Tradition Jazz 7C, the 7-year-old pair from Ian and Verena Peden of Swiss Tradition Braunve, along with the bull calf Swiss Tradition Brau, is our senior champion female, and we'll be seeing this pair again in our grand champion female class. Next up, we move into our heifer calf division. Here we have 2 splits, so the top 2 from each of our 2 splits will advance to our heifer calf championship. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have a scratch from our first of the two splits of heifer calves. Please scratch entry number 16 from Little Creek Farms. Please scratch entry number 16, Little Creek Farms. She ain't racing with us today. Leaving 5 in the class, and Judge Lysing, your class is complete. And Judge Lysing has the class placed to the first of the two splits of heifer calves. To talk it to us now, here's Judge Lysing.
So I think starting this class is a very pretty feminine female that has lots of muscle shape and stoutness to her. She carries a lot of muscle with still keeping that extension through her front end, and she strides beautifully. You can't ask for much more of a calf. She's even dropping a nice belly on her. So I think she rises to the top of this class fairly evenly. When we get into our second and third place calves, that becomes a little more trickier because it becomes a preference of type. I decided to go with the Bronve heifer. You got to appreciate her stoutness when you get behind her in pin width, her bone size, her depth of body, all very impressive. She maybe does give up some of that femininity to the heifers in front and behind her, but I think that overall boldness and structure is what gets her into the second place. When we get into the third place heifer, it's a heifer that I thought paired very well with the first place heifer, but she just doesn't have as much oomph as the heifers ahead of her. She doesn't have that jam and that squareness to her hip structure, but super feminine, super light on the move and strides out well. A female that'll cross easy peasy, but maybe just doesn't have the overall dimension to get up with the heifers above her. When we get into the fourth and fifth place heifers, these are very comparable heifers, and I was just breaking down the structure as how I decided to place them. The heifer in fourth is a tick longer and carries a little more spine and an extension through her front end. And from her hooks to pins compared to the heifer in fifth, but both very deep-bodied females with lots of chest floor. You can tell that they'll be useful onto their calf, especially with the cow we saw in the last class. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our judge, Mark Lysing of Armina, Alberta. First place in this class and advancing to our Heifer Calf Championship is Little Creek Coconut, 15K, entry number 13 in your show program from David and Janet Kamelchuk, Little Creek Farms. The Kamelchuk family of Cullenton, Alberta. She'll be coming back for our Heifer Calf Championship, and so will Swiss Tradition Karma, 14K, entry number 6 from Ian and Verena Peden of Swiss Tradition Bronvie. If you are marking your show program, entry number 13 is first, entry 9 is fifth, entry 12 is fourth, entry 11 is third, and entry number 6 places second in class. Our next class, once again, 5 heifer calves coming into the ring for our second split of heifer calves. Another of our major sponsors is AFSC. Agriculture Financial Services Corporation is proud to present the Commercial Cattlemen's Luncheon on Saturday. Stop by the gallery from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. to enjoy a roast beef buffet and check out the AFSC booth. Also, livestock price insurance coverage is provided by AFSC for your cattle or hog operation, helping you manage the risk of market volatility. Ask an AFSC rep how you can reduce some stress with LPI. Many thanks to AFSC for their ongoing support of Farm Fair International. And we're ready now with comments from our judge. Folks, on his second of the two splits of AOB heifer calves, here's Judge Mark Lysing.
I started this class out with the oldest black heifer here. I think she shows a lot of cowiness. Love her belly depth and how that carries smoothly into her foreribs, into her shoulders, and that blend into her neck is beautifully done. She has correct amount of set in her hind legs and is just an overall very stylish female. I think she pairs well with heifer calf in second, who does a lot of the same things correct, maybe not as well through the front shoulders, and maybe a little extra set in her hind legs and maybe not as much natural power. Part of that could be because of age, but I'm gonna give it to the heifer that's displaying it. But again, a very nice pairing there. The heifer we have in third is a heifer I struggled with a bunch. I really appreciate her balance, her stoutness, her bone. Her overall design is very complete and square. She just doesn't do it as femininely as the heifer above her, and that's what I had to give up today. That being said, I love the bone on this calf, and I love the squareness of her hip and how she carries that all the way down her top. When we come into this fourth and fifth place heifers, they just couldn't get up because of their performance. They are younger heifers, March born, but they are significantly smaller than the rest. Both beautifully designed, but they maybe just haven't had as much time to put that power into their hind quarter. But like if you're looking at this fifth place heifer, she has probably the most extension through her front end and overall body design. She just hasn't had the time to compete with these heifers above her. Thank you.
And thank you, Judge Lysing. First place honors and coming right back into the ring for our Heifer Calf Championship is RWL Bangles 8K, entry number 15 from Robertson West Livestock. The showman makes all the difference, right, Molly? And in second place, also with Robertson West Livestock, Try Our Kayla 16K, entry number 14, second in this class and also returning for our Heifer Calf Championship. If you're marking your show program, entry number 7 places third. Entry number 14 is second in class. Entry number 10 is fourth. Entry number 15 is first. And flipping over to the prior page, entry number 8 places fifth in class. So next up, folks, is our Heifer Calf champion. Our top two from that second split just spun right around, and they're ready to be joined by the top two from our prior class. And we'll take the opportunity to reintroduce you to those as they make their way back into the ring. We will have a blonde, a Bronvy, and 2 Galloways. And so from our class that just took place, first place is Robertson West Livestock, Brian Robertson and family of Caroline with RWL Bangles 8K. And in second place from that class, Try Our Kayla 16K from Robertson West Livestock, again of Caroline. And from our first split, the April Heifer Little Creek Coconut 15K was our class winner for David and Janet Kamelchuk and family of Collinton, Alberta. Entry number 13 as our first place. And in second place for that class, entry number 6. Ian and Verena Peden of Swiss Tradition Bronvy, and Riley Edward Jans on Swiss Tradition Karma 14K. This is your Heifer Calf Championship. Of course, our Heifer Calf champion will be receiving a $700 cash prize courtesy of Farm Fair, and our Reserve Heifer Calf champion $300. And then our very next class here in the AOB show will be our Grand Champion Female, where our champion heifer calves, yearling heifers, and our senior champion female will compete once again for a $1,000 prize package, $700 for grand, $300 for reserve, and the opportunity to be part of the Farm Fair and Alberta Supreme on Saturday afternoon. First up, though, our judge is looking for his heifer calf champions. And he'll make some comments just before declaring his champion heifer calves. Folks, here's our judge.
So I've already remarked on all these heifers. I don't need to say much, but I did want to say I'm very happy with the heifer calves we have in this champion class, and I think they deserve a round of applause, just because they all do a very good job of representing their breeds. With that, I'm going to go shake the hands of the Grand and then the Reserve heifer calf.
Many thanks to our judge, Mark Lysing. Looking now for our heifer calf champion, followed by the Reserve. And the final pieces of the puzzle will be in place for our Grand Champion female drive. Well, good golly, Miss Molly. RW Bangles 8K is our heifer calf champion. Congratulations, Brian Robertson. And Robertson West Livestock entry number 15 is our heifer calf champion. And our reserve entry number 13, Little Creek Coconut 15K. From the Kamelchucks of Little Creek Farms, entry number 13 is our reserve heifer calf champion. Congratulations to Brian Robertson and the Kamelchucks on heifer calf and reserve heifer calf champion entry number 15 and entry number 13. So folks, that does take us now to our Grand Champion female class. Our top two yearling heifers. Alrighty, folks, so here they are, our heifer calf champions, our junior champions, and our senior champion female. In our AOB show here in Martin Deerline Show Ring number 1, our heifer calf champion is RWL Bangles 8K from Robertson West Livestock of Caroline, Alberta. This is the Galloway heifer calf from Brian Robertson and is our heifer calf champion. The reserve heifer calf champion is a blonde Aquitaine from David and Janet Camelchuck and family, entry number 13 from Little Creek Farms of Collinton, Alberta, Little Creek Coconut 15K. Our junior champion female, or the champion yearling female, also from Camelchucks. This is actually from Avery, and is a blonde Aquitaine heifer, Little Creek Paforla 40J. Again, Clover Hills Cattle Company. With our junior champion female in the reserve is also the Camelchuck family. This time it's Delaney Camelchuck's heifer, Little Creek Jazzy 4J. And then we move into our senior champion female. Entry number 5, Swiss Tradition Jazz 7C. With the big strapping bull calf at side from Ian and Verena Peden, Swiss Tradition Bronvi, our senior champion female. This is our grand and reserve grand champion female class. And again, our grand champion female will receive $700 prize money from Farm Fair and the opportunity to compete in both the Farm Fair Supreme as well as the Alberta Supreme on Saturday afternoon. The reserve champion will receive $300. Farm Fair is our richest cattle show in Canada, maybe one of the richest in the world in terms of supporting its exhibitors, and we're very proud of the prize money that Explore Edmonton and our extraordinary sponsors have put into this event. We also want to acknowledge among those sponsors, and it's just beautiful timing, Alberta beef producers. ABP represents the more than 18,000 beef cattle producers who are stewards of the industry in this province. For producers, by producers. And we're very happy to have Mark Lysing as our lobbyist for Alberta beef producers as our judge for the AOB section. I don't think that that necessarily is the reason why he's here. He's here because he's a good cattleman. But we're also proud of the work he does on our behalf and on behalf of those 18,000 beef cattle producers, predominantly here in Edmonton as well as across the province. Folks, here is Judge Mark Lysing with comments on his grand champion female class. Or not. It's okay. And we're ready now with comments from Judge Mark Lysing here in our AOB show. Once again, our grand champion females, heifer calves, yearling heifers, and the senior in the ring. And comments now from our judge.
Well, I've already commented on all of these cattle, so I don't have much more to say. Again, I'm very happy with this set. I think they all match well for their completeness and type and kind. They are all very different, but for what their breed is trying to be, I think they excel in their traits. And so with that, I'm going to go and pick my grand champion female and then my reserve champion.
And many thanks to Judge Lysing. On the lookout now for the $700 cash recipient and the representatives of AOB in the Supreme Saturday here at Farm Fair International. And it's going to be our senior champion female. Congratulations, entry number 5, Swiss Tradition Bronvi, the grand champion female of our AOB show, the 7-year-old cow with her big strapping bull calf at side. This is the representative from the AOB on Supreme Saturday of Farm Fair International. And the reserve champion will be our heifer calf. Congratulations, Robertson West Livestock, RWL Bangles 8K. From Caroline, Alberta's Robertson West Livestock, the heifer calf champion is our reserve grand champion female. Congratulations. Entries number 5 and entries number 15, grand and reserve grand champion of our AOB show. We'll take a few minutes break while our champions, grand and reserve, go off for pictures, and then we'll be back with our bull show.
Over in Martin Deerline, show ring number 2, we are about 12 minutes away from showcasing the Main Anjou show in Hall B, show ring number 2. So please make sure you check out the stands for your Main Anjou show program. We're going to get started in about 12 minutes.
Nice work, Molly. Okay. And to Swiss Tradition and to Robertson West, we'll do those grand and reserve grand champion female pictures at the completion of our show once our bulls are done and our group classes are done. So if you can just leave those animals at the hitching ring, we'll get their picture with show champions at the completion of our show. We'll move right into our bull show, and we have our calendar year bull calves. We're expecting 4 bull calves to come into the ring. The class will double as our bull calf division champion. So first place in this class will be receiving $700 and the reserve $300.
Attention all exhibitors in the barn. Class number 1, our main influence heifer calf, should be making their way to the marshalling area. It is 4 minutes to 10. Class number 1, main influence heifer calf, should be on their way to the marshalling area.
Indigo City, why do you get me down? Indigo City, kicking me to the ground.
And Judge Lysing, your class is complete. 4 bull calves in your show program and 4 bull calves in the ring. Once again, first place will be our AOB bull calf champion and receives $700 from Farm Fair International. The reserve, the second place bull, receives $300. Thank you to Alliance Seeds, one of our Farm Fair International sponsors. And thank you to Be Clean, the official sponsor of the Honey Show.
I wait to see your golden smile, feel of 1,000 kisses.
Another of our sponsors is BMO Commercial Bank, offering comprehensive services and industry expertise to meet unique needs. We're very proud to have BMO as a sponsor of Farm Fair International 2022. Bow Valley Genetics is a bovine reproductive center that was incorporated in 2009 at Brooks, Alberta. Bow Valley Genetics is a partnership between Dr. Rob and Dr. Candy Stables with WestJet, Canada's oldest AI cooperative that is 100% farmer-owned. Bow Valley Genetics' longtime supporter of Farm for International. And as we move into our bull division, folks, in our AOB show, comments from Judge Lysing.
This was a difficult class just because there's not only diversity within breeds, there's diversity within age. When I looked at this class, I tried to focus more on scrotal development and foot size, and that's where I think this Galloway excels. He's big nutted, big boned, big footed, and very complete and stylish, masculine through his head, but clean through his shoulder, and long-loined. The bull I have in second is the most powerful bull in the class. He's middle for age, but definitely the highest for growth and scrotal. Maybe not as fancy in design, but square and big-hipped, and you have to appreciate that when you get behind him. The bull calf I have in third was when I walked in the ring, he really caught my eye, really loved his style, really loved how he moved. His top is nice and straight, even on the move, and he hits every hole perfectly. Where I really started to struggle with him is his scrotal size. I will granted that he is an April calf and comparing to a January and February, and it's just tough to compare, but he needs to drop that scrotal a little more to get above the calves and head of him. The bull in fourth, I think, matches very, very well, just maybe not as sound on the move. He might get a little higher in his loin there, but overall, I think a very complete bull as well, stylish, great back leg, and front shoulder structure. Thank you.
And thanks to our judge, Mark Lysing. Our bull calf champion, first place in class, and the recipient of $700 RWL Knockout 11K from Brian Robertson of Robertson West Livestock at Caroline, Alberta. Entry number 18 is our bull calf champion. And Swiss Tradition Cash 1K is our reserve bull calf champion. For Swiss Tradition Bronvi, Ian and Verena Pedian. Entry number 17 is second in class, our $300 cash recipient, and our reserve bull calf champion. If you're marking your show program on our bull calf class in the AOB show, entry number 19 is third, entry 20 places fourth, entry 17 is second, our reserve bull calf champion, entry number 18 is first, our bull calf champion. We have one class of yearlings coming into the ring that will double as a junior championship, and then we'll be right into our grand champion drive on the AOB bulls. But Tracy, I think ring number 2 is starting off our main Andrew show. Tell us what's going on.
Well, thank you, Rob. Yes, over in the Martin Deerline show ring number 2, we're getting started with class number 1. This is our main influence heifer calf calendar year female. We have 2 entries in this class. And of course, we'd like to take a moment to introduce our official today, Mr. Casey Phillips. So Casey, along with Alana, Perry, and Cord, own and operate KR Charolais, who are committed breeders of quality Charolais cattle for over 30 years. Up in the northern part of our province, at Wassetna, Alberta, they are a 5th generation century farm. They have 120 purebred Charolais cows and operate about 5,000 acres of seeded cropland, and of course are certainly no stranger to the show ring and the sale ring. We are so incredibly proud to have Casey here adjudicating the main show. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'd also like to thank Gwen Brandel, who is adjudicating in the ring, Ken Pashulka and Brian Brown in the marshalling area, and the Noble Girls, who are helping us on the award table. Again, a big shout out to our Canadian and Alberta Maine and Jew Association and Rasilvia Cattle Company as our major sponsors here in the main show. And with that, we're going to have comments on our first class of Maine Influence heifer calves from Judge Phillips.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd just like to start off the day by thanking the Maine and Jew Association for asking me to judge. Farm Fair is definitely one of my favorite shows of the year, so it's a pleasure to be out here sorting through some cattle. We started the class off with a real nice, deep, soggy type heifer. I really love the middle third in this heifer, lots of rib shape. Get in behind her, she's wide topped, yet nice enough fronted. Gets out and moves nice, real sound and attractive, really good female. Second place female, a little nicer actually through the front end, and the heifer that beats her today just maybe gives up in terms of performance and substance to beat the heifer that's above her today. But 2 really good, sound, useful type females to start off the show.
Thank you, Judge Phillips. So your champion Maine Influence heifer calf goes to the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company of Derwent, Alberta, with Miss Rasilvia 42K. She's your Maine Influence heifer calf champion, and your reserve heifer calf champion in the Maine Influence division from Carpathian Land and Livestock of St. Paul, Carps Miss Chrissy 222K. Congratulations to our 2. They will of course be coming back to declare our champion Maine Influence female, but congratulations to entry 746, your class winner, and entry 745, reserve. Our next class into the ring will be class number 2 here in the show ring number 2. These are our yearling Maine Influence females. Judge Phillips, there should be 3 entries in this class, 3 entries in class number 2.
In show ring number 1, as we wind down our AOB show, this is our yearling bull class. 2 entries in this class. They will be first and second. They'll become our junior and reserve junior champion AOB bull. And first place, the recipient of the $700 cash, reserve the $300 cash. And then, folks, there are no mature bulls, so we will be going right into Grand Champion Bull in our AOB section once Judge Mark Lysing has completed this class.
Just a quick correction on the main influence side. Our division winners in the main influence do not advance to a championship. They are their division championship in their own right, so we will congratulate them in each of their unique classes. They will not be advancing to overall on the main influence side. My apologies to the exhibitors in the marshalling ring. When you are a division champion, we are going to celebrate just that.
Canadian Roundtable for Sustainable Beef is a collaborative, multi-stakeholder initiative focused on advancing environmental, social, and economic sustainability in the Canadian beef industry. Many thanks to the CRSB, Canadian Roundtable for Sustainable Beef, one of our Farm Fair International 2022 sponsors. And also thank you to Country Junction Feeds for being the official ration provider of Farm Fair International. Country Junction Feeds, located just south of Edmonton, we're happy to have you on board.
And with that, Rob, we're going to have comments in show ring number 2 on our main influence yearling heifer from Judge Casey Phillips.
Now we got a real powerful female here to win this class. She wins it quite handily. She's real stout, real sound, real solid. I love the big timber under this heifer. She's presented awesome today, fit up really nice. A real attractive in through that front end, just a real good solid type female. Second place, a little different type than the heifer that wins the class, but she placed in second today over the third place heifer, just in terms of soundness, the way she plants her foot when she's out moving. Got her ahead of the heifer that's in third today, but both those females are good in their own right. Just a little greener than the heifer that wins, but 3 real good solid females again.
Thank you, Casey. So your champion main influence yearling heifer goes to entry number 747 from Double RN Ranching Corp., the Nobles of Lloydminster, with RASA Ellie Mae 406J. Your reserve main influence champion heifer from Carpathian Land and Livestock of St. Paul, Carp Smith Judy 162J. That is entry 748. And in third place, entry 749, the entry from Pick 6 Cattle of Gull Lake, Saskatchewan with Pick 6 Miss 112J. Next class into the ring will be a single entry, class number 5, our main influence bull calf.
And in show ring number 1, our AOB show ring, our champion and reserve champion yearling bull. They're placed as they stand, and folks, comments from our judge.
So you could switch this pair of bulls whichever way you want it all day. Just they're very different in type and kind. But I decided to go with this Bronve bull. When you get behind him, he has big scrotal, a big top, and a nice square hip. It's great to see for the industry. I think that could provide a lot forward. When you look at the blonde Aquitaine bull, he's super long through his spine. He's very balanced front to back in comparison with the bull above him, but he doesn't have that width of top that I would like to see, or that scrotal to get above the other bull, but a bull that's very comparable and competitive. Thanks.
And thank you to our judge. First place in our junior champion AOB bull is entry number 21, Swiss Tradition Jax 4J from Swiss Tradition Bronve, the Pedans, and our reserve division champion Little Creek Johnny Ringo 10J from the Camel Chucks of Little Creek Farms at Collinton, Alberta. Entry number 21, our junior champion bull. Entry number 22, our reserve. Now will be our grand champion AOB bull class. But Judge Casey Phillips has comments to make in show ring number 2 on this class of the Main Anjou Show. Folks, here's Judge Phillips.
We got a real nice single entry here. It's too bad there wasn't more calves in his class because he could sure stand some competition. He's real nice. He's real nice fronted. He's flat shouldered. He's big rib. You get in behind him, he's really wide top. He's deep quartered. Nice set of testicles on him for his age and really good footed. He's got everything you need for a real a stand-up type herd bull, and I think he's got a great future. That's a really good bull calf.
Thank you, Casey. So your main influence bull calf champion and $700 richer is the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company of Derwent with Mr. Rasilvia 120K. That's entry 750. Single entry, your main influence bull calf champion goes to Mr. Rasilvia 120K. And with that, we're going to move into our purebred show. Class number 8 should be in the marshalling ring. But I believe, Rob, you've got a pretty cool lineup over there in our show ring number 1.
Yes, our Grand Champion Bull class. Just before we have comments from our judge, we want to reintroduce you to our contenders. Our Bull Calf Champion, RWL Knockout 11K from Robertson West Livestock of Caroline, Alberta. Entry number 18 is our Bull Calf Champion. Entry 17, our Reserve Bull Calf Champion, Swiss Tradition Cash 1K from Swiss Tradition Bronvie. Our Junior Champion or Yearling Champion Bull is Swiss Tradition Jax 4J from the Pedans of Swiss Tradition Bronvie. Entry number 22 is our Reserve Little Creek Johnny Ringo 10J. The Blonde Aquitaine Bull from Little Creek Farms, the Camel Chucks of Collinton, Alberta. Folks, here is our judge to tell us about his Grand Champion class. Folks, Mark Lysing.
So the bulls we have in this championship class, I think, are all very complete in their type and kind, have decent scrotal, and they'll work on a variety of cows, and that's kind of what I was going for. I would like to ask everyone to give them a round of applause for their hard work. So with that, I'm going to go pick up at the Grand and Reserve just the bulls that I think will work on the most cows and provide the most to the industry. But thank you for having me today. It's been a pleasure.
And many thanks to our judge, Mark Lysing. Mark was raised on a 5th-generation cattle operation near Armina, Alberta, where he continues to raise cattle with his brother. He is the current lead on government relations and policy with the Alberta beef producers, so Mark works every day on our behalf as producers in Alberta as a member of the ABP team. He's a talented cattleman with his master's in range and wildlife management and a graduate of CCA's mentorship program, the Cattlemen's Young Leaders. We're happy to have him as our judge of the AOB show, as he looks for his Grand and Reserve Grand Champion AOB bull. And he's going to go with the Junior Champion. Our Bronvie bull is our Grand Champion, entry number 21. Swiss Tradition Jax 4J from Ian and Verena Peden of Swiss Tradition Bronvie. That is our Grand Champion bull. The Reserve from the same division, Little Creek Johnny Ringo 10J. The Camel Chucks of Collinton, Alberta, Little Creek Farms, have the Reserve Grand Champion bull with Johnny Ringo. So our Junior and Reserve Junior go Grand and Reserve and take the $700 and $300 prizes for Grand and Reserve Grand Champion. And of course, the Pedans will be bringing Jax into Supreme Saturday, into the Farm Fair Supreme and the Alberta Supreme. Folks, we have 3 group classes in our AOB section. And there's prize money for those too, $700 for Champion, $300 for Reserve, as we move now into Breeders' Herd, Progeny of Dam, and Get of Sire. So folks, please bring in your groups.
Take it off to set me free, I beg. Take it off to set me free, I beg. Yeah.
early in the driving rain, found John's out hitting on the liquor again. It wasn't too late, about 10:30 when he let loose what the cat dragged in. It was a Sunday. And then morning came in, morning when he tried to make me pay the rent. Said, I ain't got no money for you, can I pay my way with these dancing shoes? Thought I was kidding. Brother, brother, what you owe me, I can't count on anymore, till the police come and knocking on our door. We'll be burning down the house.
And with that, we'll have comments from Judge Phillips on our class number 8.
We got some variants and types and styles in this class, but I think we got a pretty standout type heifer to win the class. She's moderate in her frame size, but she's real stout, she's sound, gets out and moves nice, and that's going to be important for me today. These cattle all got to work out in the real world, and they all got to get out and move, and that one certainly does it. She's deep-bodied, she's wide, she's just a real nice, attractive heifer. Little different style heifer in second, a larger framed heifer, but you got to admire her for the length of body and her soundness. She's a nice-footed, nice-headed heifer, again, just a different type than the heifer that beats her today. A little bit more moderate heifer in third. She places 3 instead of 4 just in terms of her width and her balance as compared to the heifer that's in fourth. She's a little bit more moderate and a little bit more easy-doing type heifer in my opinion today. But heifer in fourth is just a little greener than the ones above her, but a nice heifer as well, just a little different type.
Thank you, Judge Phillips. So your champion yearling heifer receiving $700 goes to the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company of Derwent with Miss Rasilvia 7J. That's entry 752. Your reserve junior champion female from Gilcroft Farms of Demortsville, Ontario, and $300 cash goes to Gilcroft 23J. That's entry 753. Third in class, entry 754, Pick 6 Daddy's Girl 106J from Pick 6 Cattle of Gull Lake, Saskatchewan. And in fourth place, entry 751, Gilcroft 7J from Gilcroft Farms. Congratulations to our 4 entries in class number 8. Of course, our top 2 advancing to our overall champion female class. Our next entry into the ring will be a single entry representing class number 13, our mature cow-calf player. 1 entry, Judge Phillips, in class number 13.
Just a reminder, we have our breeders' herd coming into the ring in our AOB show ring number 1. We have 3 of our good size herds that'll be making their way into the ring, representing the 3 breeds we've had, Blonde Aquitaine, Galloway, and Bronvie. And we'll also be announcing our Premier Breeder and Premier Exhibitor awards at that time. So just a reminder, oh, here they come.
Over in ring number 2, Rob, we're going to have quick comments from Judge Phillips on our single entry mature cow class.
We got a nice pair here, just a single entry, but 2 real nice fresh type females. You know, they're not over conditioned, they're really sound and functional. I really like the calf. You know, she's got a little more dimension and size than her mom, and that's you know, that's an attribute to the breeder. You know, you got to keep advancing, and I think they've done that in this pair. Really nice, solid, useful type pair.
Thank you, Casey. So your class winner from Manitou, Maine-Anjou of Marsden, Saskatchewan is entry 755 with Manitou Festival. Our next class into the Martin Deer line show ring number 2 is class 15, This will be our purebred heifer calf class.
It pays to stay. Book through Edmonton's besthotels.com and receive up to $225 in rewards. Edmonton's Best Hotels, proud sponsor of Farm Fair International. In ring number 1, we have our breeders herd in the ring. We have our breeders herd from the Camelchuck family of Collinton, Alberta. That's our blonde Aquitaine breeders herd. Our Galloway breeders herd from Brian Robertson and crew of Caroline, Alberta, Robertson West Livestock. And Ian and Verena Peden with Swiss Tradition Bronvie have our Bronvie one. And while our judge Mark Lysing is taking a look at our breeders herd, we would like to congratulate our premier breeder of the AOB show, Little Creek Farms. Congratulations to the Camelchucks, Little Creek Farms. Michelle, if you want to, or Dana, their banner, you could take it on over to them if you'd like. And our premier exhibitor of the AOB show, congratulations, Swiss Tradition Bronvie. Congratulations to the Pedens. You are the premier exhibitor of your AOB show 2022. So our blonde Aquitaine breeders, Little Creek Farms, our premier breeder, our premier exhibitor, our Bronvie breeders, Swiss Tradition Bronvie. Congratulations to the Camelchucks and the Pedens. Once again, $700 on the line for our champion breeders herd and $300 to our reserve. And we'll have some comments from Judge Lysing on his Breeders' Herd Championship.
So when I looked at these, I tried to find the uniformity and that their sire and their pedigrees are working the way they should, and they're making very similar animals. I think when it comes to that, one group definitely stands out. I did want to mention that I really like individuals in all of these programs, but I think one program has done the best of making them consistent, and that's the Galloway herd. We'll put you in first just because if you go behind them, they all look alike, they all have belly, they all have beautiful front ends on them, and there's obvious consistency there. Then when we go down, in second we'll have the Bronvie group. These bulls are big and they're powerful and they're burly. The females might not be as feminine as the ones in the Galloway herd, but the bulls certainly stand up, and then the heifers breed true. The blonde Aquitaine group, you see a little more variation in size and type and structure, but overall you can tell that like length of spine, foot structure, and hip structure are all very consistent. Thank you.
And thank you, Judge Lysing. The $700 prize for our champion breeders herd in the AOB show here in Martin Deerline ring number 1 is Robertson West Livestock. Congratulations, Brian Robertson of Caroline, Alberta. The Galloway group is our champion breeders herd. The reserve, the Bronvies, entry number 23 in your show program for Ian and Verena Peden of Swiss Tradition Bronvie. They are our reserve champion and receiving our $300 check. And Little Creek Farms, the Camelchuck family, coming in third. Folks, we're going to deviate from your show program a bit and allow our exhibitors to add to or delete for their Get of Sire. We'll have you now give us your Get of Sire class. We have 2 entries in it from Robertson West and Little Creek. So you can add to or delete. If you've got your Get a Sire in the ring, you're welcome to leave them here.
This night, I guess I'll take you home again.
Our Get of Sire is 3 offspring from 1 sire,
So wrong,
at least one of which is owned by the exhibitor.
keep you warm inside.
Our Galloway group is in place. We're looking for 2 more to join our Blonde Aquitaine group. As Edmonton's destination management and marketing organization, Explore Edmonton drives visitation year-round and elevates the Edmonton experience. The organization is proud to produce its signature events, K-Days, Farm for International, and the Edmonton Pro Rodeo, as well as stewarding urban agriculture within the Edmonton Urban Farm. Learn more about how they help our city shine at exploreedmonton.com. Martin Deerline is your local John Deere dealer with 10 locations across Alberta. Visit them in-store or online at martindeerline.com. And I believe I got my coffee over from the Martin Deerline folks this morning, so we're happy for them to have a major presence here at Farm for International and around the Martin Deerline show ring. Martin Deerline, the official tractor supplier of Farm Fair International. And here come our final 2 to make up our Blonde Aquitaine Get of Sire. Judge Mark Lysing, your class is complete. And comments from our Judge Mark Lysing on his Get a Sire class in the All Other Breeds.
Both of these groups are quite consistent. You can see the traits that move between all these calves, and what these breeders were trying to do is very apparent in their programs. I do think that the Galloway program comes out again. It has some outstanding individuals, and those traits and those individuals carry through all of them. Then in second we'll have the Blonde Aquitaine. I do really like some of the individuals in this class, but they just maybe don't have that consistency in frame size and top that the Galloways do. But an overall very complete set of calves.
And Judge Lysing has determined our champion Get a Sire is from Robertson West Livestock. The Galloway Get is our $700 Grand Champion Get, and our reserve $300 Get of Sire is to the Camelchucks of Little Creek Farms, their Blonde Aquitaine Get. One class remains, and that is our Progeny of Dam, 2 animals from the same dam. That's a single entry class. So we will ask the Camelchucks to add 2 or delete for their Progeny of Dam, 2 animals from the same dam.
I'm here for you, babe. I love you the same this whole time. So tell me, what's on your mind? And I'm not here to hear you say you're fine. I can take the pain you hold inside. I wanna know, wanna see it. Can I feel your grip tonight? Can't get this off my mind. Does it only control you? Let me in, I'll help you out. I won't lose you this time.
And we're ready with comments in ring number 2 from Judge Casey Phillips. Folks, here's Casey.
We got a real nice set of heifer calves in this class, right from top to bottom. Little variance in types, but real sound, solid, functional females right through. Heifer that wins the class just kind of wins it in her overall balance. Really love the attractiveness of this heifer. Love her front end, really flat shouldered and yet really wide top. Big middle, big hip, get out and move, real nice sound. That's a really good heifer calf. Second place heifer, a little plainer in her makeup today, maybe not quite as much front end extension as the heifer that beats her, but I really like this heifer for her mass and her middle and her overall function and balance. Two real good heifers. Third place heifer, I really like too. Real solid, stout, sound, just maybe not as quite as much performance as the two heifers that beat them today. And these heifers are all within just a couple weeks of age, but those three females at the top are really nice. Then the three females at the bottom end of the class are really good too, just a little greener in her makeup, maybe not the overall muscle shape as the heifers that win the class, but three real good functional females as well.
Thank you, Judge Phillips. So first in class from Carpathian Land and Livestock of St. Paul with entry 760, that's Carps Harley's Whiskey Kraz. Second in class and your reserve purebred heifer calf champion from Blue Sky Mains of Daysland with Miss Ronsko JOR 60K with entry 761. In third place from Rasilvia Cattle Company of Derwent, Miss Rasilvia 87K with entry 757. Fourth in class, entry 756, Miss Ronsko JOR 76K from Blue Sky Mains. Fifth in class, entry 758, Pick 6 Charisma 204K from Pick 6 Cattle. And sixth in class from Pick 6 Cattle, Pick 6 Chinook 214K, that's entry 759. And Rob, over to you in ring number 1, comments.
You bet. We have a final set of comments from Judge Mark Lysing on our AOB show. Folks, put your hands together for Judge Mark Lysing. He's done a great job with us this morning. We appreciate his work with the AOB. And here's his comment on the single entry Progeny of Dam class.
So you can see these calves are from a similar cow, or same cow, that what they've done with hindquarter structure, that big hip and that rib shape. So I think they would be more competitive with more competition, but I think this a really good pair of calves from this cow.
And one final thanks to Judge Lysing. Congratulations to the Kemelchuk family. Little Creek Farms has our champion Progeny of Dam, bringing in two outstanding females from an outstanding female. That is the $700 winner of our Progeny of Dam. Congratulations to the Kemelchuks. Folks, that's all she wrote for our AOB show. We will be busy here in ring number 1, commencing in an hour and 21 minutes with the Speckle Park show. But folks, that's what we've got for our AOB show, a great show they've put on for us to kick off Farm for International 2022. And please cheer on Swiss Tradition Braunvieh with their Grand Champion Female and Grand Champion Bull as they represent the AOB and the Farm Fair Supreme and Alberta Supreme on Saturday afternoon, right here in Hall B. Martin Deerline show ring.
Well, thank you, Rob. And over in show ring number 2, we're ready for comments in our full-blood heifer calf division from Judge Casey Phillips.
We got two nice heifer calves in this class. I really like the female that wins it. She wins it today because she's a little bit more modern, more muscle, more soundness than the heifer that's in second. They're both free, easy moving type females, just a little more usefulness to this heifer that wins the class today in terms of overall balance and muscle shape, but two nice females.
Thank you, Casey. So your full-blood heifer calf champion and receiving $700 from Manitou Main-Anjou of Marsden, Saskatchewan with entry 762. That's Manitou Classic 18K. And your reserve full-blood heifer calf champion entry 760.